Hey there and welcome to a new video. This is the second part of the previous video which we created on handling duplicate data with SQL. In that first part, we saw three different methods of dealing with duplicate data, and also all the three methods were three cases of duplicate data and how we can remove that particular duplicate data from the table. Now in this video, we will see another three methods of dealing with duplicate data, and the three methods are dealing with three different cases of duplicates. Now let us go on to our first method, meaning this will be the fourth method if you have already gone through the previous video. So here in this method, you may have to keep specific duplicates based on some criteria in the actual table. That is, for example, here we are taking the most recent entry. So based on a table customer info, we have to only keep the most recent entry based on the ID column for a particular user. So that is the case that we are seeing with respect to duplicate data in the fourth method. Now let us create the customer info table and insert some data into the customer info table. Execute this, create the table customer info. Now insert data into the customer info table. Execute this and we have data within the customer info table. Now the goal is to delete duplicate rows based on the email column while keeping only the row with the highest ID for each unique email. Now let us query the table and see what is that particular case. Now we have the customer info table which we created. Now when we go through the table, we can see that the email ID has been repeating. So the first record corresponding to ID 1 and the second record corresponding to ID 3. And again, when we go down, we can see that again that particular name is repeating with respect to email. That is, for ID 6 also we have the same email and same name. Now the question is to keep only email which corresponds to the highest ID. So without doing any other transformation, how we can keep that particular ID and email and corresponding other attributes within the customer info table, that is what we are going to see within the first method. So first we will start with a select clause. Select. What we have to do here is now we have to fetch the highest ID with respect to each email. So for that we will take the email, comma, then we will take max of ID, which will give us the ID column ID. Now from table customers info table. Now we will write a group by clause, group by email. Now execute this and we will get the maximum ID with respect to each email. So these are the maximum ID with respect to each email in the table. Now in the final table, we only have to keep these three IDs and all other ID can be deleted from the actual customers info table. So we are going to make use of another clause here, which is the delete clause. Delete from the same table, that is customers underscore info. Now we have to write a where clause, where ID not in the particular IDs which we now queried using the initial query that we wrote. Now close the parenthesis. Now here we have to make a small modification, that is in the select we only require max ID. Also we can remove the alias name that we gave to the column. Now execute this and we will get a message that is completed successfully or 3 rows affected. Now let us query the table and see what is the table having. Execute. Now we can see that in the particular customers info table, we only have ID, name, email and created at corresponding to the maximum ID with respect to each email. So this is the first method of deleting duplicate data without doing any complex transformation. We made use of the delete clause along with the aggregate function and we were successfully able to obtain unique records within the parent table. So this is the fourth method. Now moving on to fifth method, let us see what is the case and what is the method that we are going to solve. So this is not the fourth method, this is the fifth method. So this will be merging duplicate row. For that we are going to create another table which is called the customer merge table, because this is another case of duplicate data. So let us create the table first and see what is the specific case. Execute. Now insert data into that particular table. Execute. Now we created the table. Now select the table and see what is the data. Now we have a table created, that is customer merge, which has email, first name, last name, and created it. Now when we go through the table, we can see that for a particular email ID, the records are coming multiple times. For the first email ID John, we can see that we have two different instances. And with respect to that particular email, first name is not there for the first record. And we have last name for the first record. And coming to the second record, we can see that we have first name but not last name. But created at it is available in both the instances. Similarly, there are cases where emails have first name and last name in the same row and nulls within the second row. And here is another case with respect to the third email ID that we are having in the table, that is corresponding to Alex. We have null in first name column, and the second record is having Alex as the first name. So we have to fetch the actual first name. In the last name column, we can see that both the records are having same last name. So we can fetch either of them. So now let us see how we can fetch the unique records or merge first name, last name column and also obtain the latest created at date with respect to each email ID. So here we are considering the email column as the primary key column or the key column. So here what we will do is select, we will write email, that is the first column we are fetching. Now we will make use of aggregate function. We will use max first name as first name. So the column name will be first name and second column will be max of last name and column name will be last name, and the third column will be we require the latest created at date. So here also we will use max aggregate function, created at as created at, and this is taken from the table customer merge, and we will write a group by clause, group by email. Now execute this query and we will be able to merge the first name and last name and obtain the latest created at with respect to each email ID. Execute, and we have the email ID, first name, last name, and created at. Now we can see that we don't have any blank or null anymore in the actual table. Here we haven't modified the parent table, but instead we wrote a query to get a modified result based on the customer merge table. This is the fifth method. Now let us move on to the sixth method. So in this method, we will see how to make use of temporary table to get rid of duplicate data from the actual table. So here also we are going to make use of the same table, which is the customer merge table, and we will see how we can make use of the result that we have obtained using the method 5 in order to remove duplicate data using temporary table and modify the customer merge table. So first we will copy the merge query, we will paste it here. Now we will place this query inside a CTE with merge result as open and close parenthesis and place the entire query within the first CTE. Now we will place this result within a temporary table. So for that, write a select clause, select star into the new temporary table that we are creating, that is temp customer info table. Now this is taken from the previous CTE, that is merge underscore result. So we will place this result from the merge result CTE. Now execute this and the result will be placed within the temporary customer info temporary table. Execute, and we can see that 3 rows are affected. Now temporary table has been populated with the result. Now what we have to do is we have to truncate the customer merge table. So truncate table customer underscore merge, and what happens is the truncate statement will delete all the records from the customer merge table. Execute this and it is successfully completed. Now let us query the customer merge table and see what is the table having from customer underscore merge. Execute, and now there won't be any record within the customer merge table because we truncated the table and deleted all the records from the customer merge table. Now what we have to do is we have to insert all the records within the temporary table into the customer merge table. So for that we will make use of the insert statement. Insert into customer underscore merge, and we will write a select star from the temporary table, that is temp customer info table. Execute, and 3 rows are affected. Now run the same select star on customer merge table. Execute, and we will be seeing only records which are unique within the actual table without any duplicates. So now we have deleted all the duplicate records from the actual customer merge table, and the parent table is populated with the unique records based on the temporary table method. So this is the sixth method. Now we in total show 6 methods of dealing with duplicate data, and all the 6 methods we are dealing with different cases of duplicate data. And there are even more methods to deal with duplicate data depending upon different scenarios. Let me know if you like this video. Thanks for watching and subscribe for more. Thank you.